April has ended. May is upon us. We are in the thick of it. And by it, I mean the recap of April. Tesla got a lot of things done. Did they get enough done? Does anyone care? I certainly do. You know who else does? Randy Kirk, best-selling author, serial entrepreneur. And I don't just say that because he invented cereal. No, he did a bunch of business stuff. And now he's been put out to pasture on YouTube. It's very unfortunate, but we appreciate his time just the same. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futurasa.
I did spend some time at Cal Poly Pomona. I worked there and went to school there for a bit, which of course is where Kellogg lived. It's called
Oh,
Kellogg Hill, and the Kellogg Mansion is there. I spent many a lunch eating on the porch of the Kellogg Mansion. So there you go. That's how close I've come to the cereal business.
and telling that story is kind of the opposite of what Kellogg stood for. You'll have to look it up to see what that means, folks, because I'm not going to spell it out. But it's funny, I promise. So look at this. Here's Tesla's Tesla official sharing their monthly recap. Fun fact, if you click on this, it just makes it bigger. It's just a picture. Maybe that's not fun, but we introduced Diamond Black as a new color option for 3 and Y in North America.
Have you
Ooh,
seen that in person?
I don't think I have. No.
I've heard it's
No.
really supposed to be pretty spectacular.
The thing with paint is you cannot capture it in 2
Right.
dimensions. A
Yes.
flat version won't do it because part of the allure is that your 2 eyes capture different sparkles at the same time. It gives it a real depth that's hard to explain. There was a company at the X Takeover last year that had this, boy, it almost looked like a rhino lining that they would spray onto your Tesla.
Mm.
That was very, very tricky to the eyes in that way. Super duper black. What do you think? Big deal?
If it's a cool enough color, sometimes, I mean, I absolutely, when I bought my Volvo, however many, 12, 15 years ago, that I have recently sold to my son, so I kept it in the family. It was 100% based on the color. I wanted that red. It was great.
People have been hankering for new colors. I would have thought it'd be cooler to go not just from red to ultra red and not just from gray to quicksilver and not just from black to diamond black, but take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers. I, of course, am a beggar. FSD supervised helps avoid potentially fatal accidents. This is why autonomy matters. My car just saved this guy's life. I never saw him in the dark. Here you get to see it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And where is he? Where is he? Holy smokes. I didn't see him either. So, yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't have autonomy, get it. FSD supervised in Europe pending regulatory approval. Uh, and actually, since then, we just heard some country did approve it,
The
like
Czech
Hungary.
Republic has approved it. I want to say that there's 4 or 5 countries in Europe that now have some kind of offset.
Framework. Mm,
Yeah, some kind of framework that would cause them to be ahead of the United Nations version, or UNECO, that they're waiting for over there. So this would be pushing UNECO to do something sooner. That's what I
mhm,
understand.
mhm. This is big. This is very big. We saw it roll out in China. And what I loved was it went out to the first batch of people, and then there was a delay before it went out to the next batch and went wider. To which my comments were littered with people saying, "Oh no, they've rolled it back. They've paused the whole program." No, they're just going through the steps of a rollout. I could see why there would be some confusion if you've never had a chance to experience over-the-air updates. Boy, it would sure be great if it didn't do that every single time. Texas now uses FSD unsupervised to deliver cars to the end of line. And I think they're doing this in Fremont as well. Yes. Accrued between California and Texas factories. Car just delivers itself.
Yes,
Um, big
it's
deal? No deal?
well, it's a way to put on more miles, and get more content coming out. and in terms of what it does right or does wrong. I had an unusual experience today. I've never on my FSD where in a very like the last on my way to the location, it went perfectly. I was so impressed with how it did, uh, you know, dips and whatnot. And I'm just thinking, man, it's just getting better and better. And then the very next trip that I took on my way home, it was acting weird in a free on a freeway, which it would have been normally doing just perfectly. And it caused me to go, well, does it sometimes get up on the wrong side of the bed or something?
Mm. Well, I've seen some remarkable behavior. I told this story a few days ago on another channel, but or maybe it was my channel. Who knows, man? But I was in a parking lot. I said, "Take me home," and it turned instead of turning out the way I would have. It said, "No, we're going to loop behind the building and get out on the other road." So it starts going that way, but it's too early in the morning, and that path through the parking lot is closed. There's a gate and it pulls up to the gate. And I'm like, I have to take, nope. Before I could take over, it did a 3-point turn, rerouted. It's like, oh baby,
Wow, that's
this,
terrific.
that's, that's, that's something I've been hoping for. I've
Yeah.
seen it happen for other people, never seen it happen for me. So that was very exciting. Question for you. We just watched a clip of the vehicles driving themselves. How much money per car can we save? Is it $10? Is it 20?
Well, I think they said it's sometimes up to 2 miles. Let's say it averages 1 mile to the parking lot. That's going to take a minimum of 2 minutes or so to get there. So now you've got somebody that's taking 2 minutes in the car to get there, but how do they get back? Do they have
Shuttles?
to walk? Or is there a
No,
shuttle that comes around and gets them? Or do
it's
they
got
just
to be a
stand there
shuttle.
waiting for a shuttle? But if they stand there and wait for the shuttle, there's still time. It's not going to be there in 1 second every time unless it's really set up cleverly.
No.
So one way or the other, I'm figuring maybe 10 minutes of employee time that's being saved per each. And employee time is about $30 an hour all in. So, it's not insignificant if it's 6:30.
I don't think it's 30 all in. I think it's probably more like 40 to 50 all in because wages have come up that much. If you're at $20 an hour, then it'd probably be 40 all in. And again, it's not just one person, it's all the other people supporting. And I think even 10 minutes might be generous
Might be.
because
Might be.
there's going to be downtime in between. Uh, and when the humans are driving it, they're like, hustle, hustle, hustle. We got to get to the other lot as quick as possible. Where the cars, you saw them, they were moseying because I'm in no rush.
Right.
As when I get there, I'm going to wait anyway. The guy in front of me is a robot just like me. It doesn't matter. And in terms of, well, you're eliminating jobs, my friend, this job should be eliminated.
Yeah.
It's not an ideal job. And it's nice because now we know that just watching itself move through the factory is sufficient data to calibrate the cameras and be ready to go.
Right.
Very exciting stuff. What else was Tesla up to in April? Supervised ride hailing services live for an early set of employees in Austin and San Francisco Bay Area. We've completed over 1,500 trips and 15,000 miles of driving. This service helps us develop and validate FSD networks, the mobile app, vehicle allocation, mission control, and more. Big deal?
Yeah, I think so. This morning, Waymo came out. It might have been yesterday or this morning. Waymo came out showing that they have now accumulated, I think it was on the order of, I want to say 5 million miles, or was it 53? Anyway, power 10 problem. I can't remember. My brain just evaporated on that one. But I think it might have been 53 million miles that they've gone so far. And, you start getting that kind of miles, you can start really making some conclusions about the accident rate and fatality rate or whatever. And so yeah, the more miles of this kind of stuff, it just is going to help the states and governments and the population because I think it was Bradford Ferguson did a report, put something on X this morning where he said he started asking on his channel and elsewhere, and about half the people he talked to said, "No, I would never get in a car that doesn't have a driver." So there's some work to be done to get folks to go on this thrill ride.
There is. I know my brother was absolutely opposed to engaging it. Um, but we've all been on self-driving trains before, and I get it. The environment is very different, much easier to control if it's a train. But okay, fine, fine. Uh, yeah, this is a big deal. Waymo is actually claiming 250,000 rides a week now, um, which means they've certainly expanded beyond the 700 vehicles they originally started with. This one's kind of fun. Tesla's saying BAMF, which of course means big ass mother factory, I think, or badass mother factory. Semi factory update. I'm just going to hit play because I've already muted it, where we can see the inside of the factory. We talked about this on your show the other day,
Yeah.
but it went from nothing to a big empty building very quickly. Boy, my browser is not in a good mood today, but that's all right. Uh, and I've seen people saying 50,000, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Well, but that's 20% of the US market. I think that's a very good starting place. Uh, and if that's accurate, that means you only need 4 more of these to cover the entirety of the US market.
Yes.
Not that Tesla would do it alone.
Yeah.
Big truck
Although,
energy.
although,
Yeah.
although our buddy Brian Wong would like Tesla to do it alone and believes they could if they really
Mm,
wanted.
mm. We will see what the pricing is. I mean, if you're going to come in 50,000 cheaper or the exact same price, but with lower operating cost,
Yeah.
it's over.
It's
It's
over.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big truck energy. Agreed. Fact check true. We launched in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
That's a great shot.
It was a great shot. They hire some pretty fantastic video producers to make their promotional videos. I would argue that while it's a small market, every market counts. So, to the people saying, what's Tesla even doing? Well, there's your answer. I'm assuming this is the same thing. My ability to read Arabic is limited
I
to
understand that.
none.
I understand they have a fairly large upper middle class there.
Eh, thank you for the comical understatement. I appreciate it. Yeah, what if I told you I'm coming to the Middle East this year? I'd say you already told us. Launched Cybertruck long range. How do you feel about that, by the way?
Along finally getting close to affordable vehicle. Yeah, I think it's good. I want them to come down another 10. Um,
So they can sell them
yeah, well,
because
yes, yes, that would be nice. 60,000. I think 60,000 might do it.
Mhm.
We'll see. But I'm not. I'm a little sad that they're taking quite so much away. I wish they could figure out a way to get to that 60,000. I'm fine with the cloth seats. I don't think anybody cares. But I think that did I get it right that they were going to have you're going to have to roll up your own door, your own window? No,
No,
no. Oh,
that's
darn.
Slate Motors you're thinking
That
of.
was Slate. Okay, I'm getting yeah. Okay,
No, but this doesn't have a tonneau of any kind. There's
yeah.
an
Okay,
aftermarket one you can buy that's not
perfect.
secure,
Right.
so you no longer have a vault,
Right.
and they got rid of the air suspension. They basically cut 30,000 out of it for a $10,000 discount. Um, it would be if they'd like to sell, because honestly, at these prices, I don't know who the truck is buying it.
There was an article this morning that was suggesting I forget who it was, maybe Insider, which you can't trust anything Insider says, Business Insider. But I think they were suggesting that Tesla is trying to pivot to the market of the real truck driver, the farmer, the construction guy, etc. That's a pivot that they're trying to make. I think that's nonsense.
I don't buy that for a second. The price is wrong for that for sure. No one, no, it doesn't pencil. More efficient, more affordable, long range. I mean, yes, true. Those are both true. Long range Cybertruck brings all wheel stability and traction control, plus a locking rear diff with up to 362 miles of estimated range. No, it doesn't. Put it to work with 7,500 pounds of tow rating. I mean, okay. Sure. Sure. Uh, Not interested. Hard pass. Um, I don't I don't, I don't think this is gonna be the winner that they're hoping it is.
Mhm.
Shipped this year, spring update, making your Tesla better through over the air. So adaptive headlights, US and Canada. By the way, can anyone tell me, does my late 2023 Fremont build Model Y long range have the Matrix headlights? I know
Mhm.
the performance model from that year did. I don't know if mine does.
Mm.
Um, I would like to have that because I thought I did have it. And if I don't, I'll be sad. And
I
no
have
one wants me to be
Yeah,
sad.
I have been impressed enough that they just turn on and off by themselves. I mean, just being able to figure out that it's dark enough that they should go on and that there's no opposing traffic, and then reversing that when there is opposing traffic, I think that is practically a miracle.
So, yes, the engineering team will love to know that they've been prehumously canonized. I think that's how it works. Uh,
Mhm.
I would say that my car has always had that. It just now works, and it
I
actually
see.
does work. It used to, for the first year, I would just every time. Well, I'm blinding people. Let's turn this. Could it just stay off? And the answer is no. But now it works. I'm in a better mood about that. Happy Earth Day. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's something you did in April. Someone said that the Rebovin looks like an Iron Man mask, and now that's all I can see. So that's kind of fun.
It's
A few 2024 stats. Customers avoided releasing 30 million metric tons. I mean, Supercharger network was fully powered by renewable energy for the fourth year in a row through a
mm,
combination. I mean, they're buying offset credits. Uh, or, I mean, eh, we're already on board, guys. We get it. We love it. Earth Day. Uh huh. Volunteer events and Earth Day. Mhm.
Earth Week.
Earth Week.
So it has
Uh,
to be better. The
has to,
whole
I
week
mean,
day.
who celebrates Shark Day? No, I
Shark
need a
Day.
whole week. I need Shark Week. Congrats to Giga Texas on producing their 400th vehicle. I'd have hoped it was more, but I think that's still okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Tesla using autopilot is 10 times less likely to be involved in an accident. Uh, yeah, but, and then all of the silly FUD.
Yeah, I keep asking for this. Hopefully, it's going to happen when Robotaxi comes out. Why do we care how many accidents it's involved in? I want to know how many Tesla or FSD caused accidents or ADA caused, Tesla driver assist caused accidents. I don't care about the accidents that are caused by somebody else that somehow the
Oh,
vehicle
yeah.
was unable to avoid. But I would really like to know, out of a million miles of driving, how many did Tesla cause?
Yeah. There's, I'm sure, still a website, something like TeslaFireDeaths.com or something silly, where they list all of the fire deaths, including ones where, or it might just be Tesla fires, where they list all the different incidents where death occurred and there was some kind of fire. But they include things like a drunk driver slammed into them at 100 miles an hour and then the car caught fire. And also, they were dead by the time the fire consumed them. So it's like, that's very dishonest.
Not helpful. Yeah.
That's not what we're looking for when we look for valid information. Convenience means being able to precondition your Tesla from afar and then just pressing a single button to make it take you where you need to go. Agreed.
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 It's so hard to explain to people the benefits of having a connected device that is your car. It's remarkable. When it is too hot, when it is too cold, you can set it. When I was in Shanghai and saw my battery was draining too quickly, by the way, I never did diagnose it. It just stopped when I got home. When my battery was draining too quickly, I emailed a key to a buddy of mine in Portland who moved it for me, put it on a charger. Done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I've come back to dead cars before, not a Tesla. Press FSD. I mean, we're kind of, these aren't really April things, but press a button, it takes you where you want to go. Walk up to the car, open the door. No looking for keys, no pressing your key fob. Car just knows you're there. I appreciate that too. I'm not a fan of keys. Uh,
It's
yeah.
Brian. We could maybe do a public service thing here because one of the things about having so many things that the car can do is that nobody uses all of them. And
Hmm.
today, my wife and I, as we were traveling down, taking her down to school, we were asking ourselves because, and maybe we'll figure this out later, how much can you set up the car to be responsive to your phone itself? So if the new cyber truck, or what do we call them, robo taxis, if if that as soon as I call the ride, it's supposedly going to put my music in, change my temperature control to what I like, put my seat in the direction that I, et cetera, et cetera. All that's going to happen on that app. Shouldn't that already be happening just when I get to the car and
Mm.
it sees my phone is the thing opening the door? Shouldn't that automatically give me my phone, my favorite music, my favorite climate, my favorite seat assignment, etc.? I know it'll decide. Oh, you know what? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Tony, oh, my wife goes to work at 8, so they'll already have work as the likely navigation. But what about the rest of that stuff? Is it possible? Or do you know?
So there are two kinds of Bluetooth. The new kind is much more precise. The one that the new Model Y has, or some of the newer Model Ys, where you can walk up to the back of the car, and if you just stand there long enough, it'll open the hatch.
Mm.
So it may require that. But let's say it can't tell who's in the driver's seat. There's a camera.
Yeah.
Surely you can remember what I look like. If this vehicle is running AI for, which it is not because it's not AI, it doesn't learn, it's just a computer. Guys, we've gone through enough of this list. It just keeps going. What do you think? What did we miss? What did we misunderstand? What's the big news from April that wasn't here in terms of good news? I mean, the haters are going to certainly litter the comments with bad news, but that's what they do. Hey, do me a favor. Check out Randy Kirk, see what he's up to on his channel. Link in the description. Everybody else, stay tuned, stay juicy. And I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots when I bonk the mic again.